So I want to tell y'all a story about how I recently almost nearly got scammed with a crypto scam. So I'm going to be telling y'all a story. I wish I could bring the evidence today, but I went and looked and it's gone, right? Obviously, they've deleted it. This is what happened. I had a friend who recently gifted me some XRP, which is one of the cryptocurrencies, right? He was like, hey, I want to, send this to you. I think it's going to go up and I think it's going to be a blessing. And I was like, that's fine. Right. And so he sends me some XRP and I'm like, cool, that's awesome. And because of that, I was thinking when I was on YouTube and I saw this ad pop up, I was thinking about it and I was like, oh, I've got some XRP. And this ad was a advertisement for a YouTube XRP giveaway. And so in the video, Ripple, which is the company behind XRP, was giving away 1 million XRP, which is a whole lot of money. Doug, maybe you could tell me what is it at now? Like 3 point something or whatever?
321.
So essentially like $3.2 million worth of XRP, right? Is that mathing correctly?
Anyway, at the current numbers, yeah, that would be
exactly. So accurate. Right. So they were giving away $3.2 million of XRP as like a publicity stunt, right? And so I'm watching this video and I'm thinking like, this is definitely a scam, right? This looks like a scam. And it's like in the video, here's what you're supposed to do is you are supposed to send them a certain amount of your XRP and then they will send you back twice as much as you sent them until the $1 million the million XRP is gone, right? And I was like, well, that's definitely feels like a scam, you know? And I'm watching the video and I'm watching it, you know, and then I'm like, and then I'm like, well, who promoted this, right? Like, who is this sponsoring this ad? And I look underneath the video and it's pointed to the actual YouTube website or homepage for Ripple. It's the official Ripple like YouTube homepage. And I was like, well, that's weird. Like the fact that Ripple is actually promoting this XRP giveaway. And I'm like, well, I'm like, okay, well, what the heck? Like, how could they be promoting it, right? And then I look at the comments and there's hundreds of comments and all the comments are like, oh my gosh, I was so scared to send the XRP, but I did. And they literally just sent it back like 2 minutes later. I got double my XRP. Ripple, you're the best. We love you, Ripple. And this question pops up in my brain. Is this real? I was like, I got some XRP. Is this real? Should I send them my XRP, right? But then I had another thought, which was, no, this is definitely a scam, you know? And I was like, there's no way on earth that this is real, you know? So it was like a split second that they almost got me to believe that it was real. I don't think I ever would have sent the XRP, but for a split second, I had the thought, is this real, right? And then I did a little bit more diving. What I found was, and I actually have a little history on YouTube. So I used to work for a nonprofit that would put videos on YouTube, and sometimes they would boost those videos and they would advertise them, right? As like a sponsored YouTube video being promoted to the audiences. And I remembered that you could pick any sort of landing page that you wanted when you boosted a video. And so I went and I looked, okay, who's actually paid for this ad? And the paid for was some random name, right? For this Ripple ad. So YouTube has conducted it in such a way, they've made the boost in such a way to where it looks like it's being sponsored by Ripple, but it's actually being sponsored by somebody else. But the company that sponsored it, just they pushed all the advertising traffic to Ripple's official page. And so then it looks like not just on the ad itself, on the side, it says Ripple, but also once you click through it, it goes to their page. So it looks like Ripple has sponsored this thing. And obviously it's fake, right? Obviously it's fake. And then I went and I found this page. Ripple CEO issues $2.1 billion scam alert amid XRP price surge. The most common scams involve impersonating Ripple executives or promoting fake XRP giveaways. Ripple emphasized that it will never ask anyone to send XRP, a common tactic used in these scams. 100% scam, right? So the scams up to this point have been that they used AI to create a fake version or an AI version of the Ripple CEO, and they literally had him promoting this AI version of him promoting the scam. And now it's the same exact scam, but there's no AI version of him. It's just text on a screen and it's just music and text. Same exact scam though. And so far this year, there have been over $2.1 billion stolen through this method. And some people are getting really, really, really rich off of these scams. And I'm like, how on earth have we not held YouTube accountable and platforms like that accountable for this nonsense. And I've seen the same stuff pop up on Facebook. There's my story of, nearly almost getting scammed. For a split second, I thought, is this real?
They're getting more and more sophisticated. Like the company I used to work for would send out like fake phishing emails. So it was from a security firm. And there was like 3 or 4 times that I fell for it. Like I was like, oh, okay, it's from HR and it's about this. And then I click it and it's like, oh, you fell for it. We caught you. And so it's like, they're getting more and more crafty in how they do these things. So, I mean, I think it's, if your smell tester goes off, you should probably pay attention to it. So that was a well thought out one though. And they even had the fake comments coming in there and saying, all that. Cause it like gets rid of all the objections people would have. And you just still kind of knew.
When I went to look at the comments, all I saw was all the positive comments. There was hundreds of comments, but then I went and I looked at it from like the newest comment. You can filter based on the newest comment that comes in, and I realized the newest comment was 17 minutes old, and all the other comments were like 17 minutes, 18 minutes, 19 minutes, 20 minutes. So somebody had been planting all these fake comments, and then they stopped at a certain point planting fake comments. And then they just continued to delete, obviously, all the real comments that were saying, this is a scam, don't send your money. And so somebody's right there deleting those as fast as humanly possible.
Oh my goodness.
That's why there were no new comments after 17 minutes previous to that, is because that's when they stopped posting the fake comments.
I don't understand people like, I get being scammed on something because, man, like you guys said, they're getting really, really clever. But when it comes to your money and your investments, you have to be ultra careful. And not only that, but you need to be informed. Like, know what it is you're holding, know why you're holding it, and how you got it. Don't just sign up for some exchange somewhere and drop some money on something without having any idea what it is or what it even does. And I try to encourage people to do their own research. Like, I encourage people to look into some cryptos because I do believe in some of them. But I also say, like, by the same time, like, don't invest in anything you're not willing to lose, right? That's number one, but also do your own research. And it just this whole conversation reminds me of, I think Dave Portnoy, or I don't know if I'm getting his name right, but he posted just last week about XRP and how he was so upset because he has sold all of his XRP right before it went up. And you want to know the reason why he sold it? Because he was basing it off of the word that he got from a friend of his that he didn't like XRP anymore. Basically, that's what it comes down to. Like, his friend who initially got him into XRP was like, I'm not so excited about XRP anymore. And so he was like, all right, well, I'm going to sell it. He sold it, and then XRP went whoop, and now he's upset. And so my point behind this, don't just walk into this willy-nilly. You need to actually like figure out why you're investing in something, and that way you're not swayed by anybody's opinions or scams or anything like that, because you already know what you're holding and why you're holding it and how you're holding it. That's very important.
So I have a friend that got scammed and didn't lose any money on it because he could remedy it quickly. But here's what happened. He got an email, I think it was from like PayPal, and it said, hey, you need to change your password. We have an alert, account alert. So he clicked in, he changed his password, and then he went on a little bit later and tried to log in, and he used the new password, and it wouldn't work on PayPal. And he's like, what's going on? And then he used his old password and it worked. And he's like, what is it? And he went back and he ended up finding out the site that he went and typed his password in was actually a site that just looked like PayPal.
Yeah.
And so they hadn't used his information yet, so he could go back and actually change it before they could do anything.
But they were going to use it. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like, that is crazy, man. And it's just like, because I've gotten texts from like that says, hey, this is such and such bank or credit union. We need you to da da da, and or like the cell phone company or whatever, and they just want you to click and type in, and some of it they just want you to click it or read it or respond, because then they know it's a real number, and then they can sell that number to someone else. That even might even be as simple as that. But there's so many scams today. It's crazy.
My kids are always cracking up because they oftentimes get this text where it's something about like your driver's license is suspended, or you need to log into the DMV to like fix your car insurance, and it's my kids, and they're like, I'm 12. I don't know. This isn't. So my practice is, whenever I get something like that where it looks like a scam, I go outside of whatever communication that is, and I go check
Yep.
into whatever account. Like, so if it were PayPal, I wouldn't click through the PayPal email that I got. And I've actually seen those before too. I go out of that email, I go into the PayPal that I know I can trust. I log in, I check everything, and everything's fine. I'm like, scam, delete it.
And I've done it where I just say, look, I'm not going to give you this information over the phone. I'm actually going to hang up and I'm going to call the number that I know is the right number. And then we'll find out if you really need this or not. But anyway, lots of crazy stuff. They're even impersonating voices now. And pretending like people were kidnapped, and then they call a family member using that voice. It's just insane. I mean,
it is unfortunate. I am not looking forward to things getting worse as far as the scam goes, as with the AI and that kind of thing. My 2 points or stories are just that. One, I also, Ryan, like you, worked for a company that was big enough that they had a security department that would send out fake phishing emails, and we had trainings that we had to do. I only fell for one. There was one that I clicked on, and I didn't even go all the way through and like enter in my information. I just clicked on the link, and then immediately it was like, "Oh wait, no, this isn't legit." And then they sent me the like security course I had to retake.
Here's your updated training.
They're like, "Oh, you have to do the training again because you clicked on this or whatever," which is like, an hour of watching videos on like how to not click on. But there are some general rules. I mean, for one general rule that would avoid this $1 billion scam for everybody is just don't give your money to somebody that says that you have to send us money before we will send you money. There's that's never legitimate. The only time that's ever legitimate, there's only one time that's ever legitimate, and that is for like bank verification, where it's like they send you 11 cents or then they take out 12 cents or whatever. That's the only time that's ever true, and that's a very small amount of money. Is never the like anybody that emails you and says, "Oh, I just need $100 and then I will return, $1,000 or $2,000 to you." That Nigerian prince isn't real, let me tell you. And it sounds like
that farmer in South Africa doesn't need your money for his tractor that he's trying to buy that he needs to import. If you want to hear a good story, go to Walmart and the counter desk there to the people who do the cash that they want to send the cash, and just ask them to tell you some stories, because they have to deny it if it seems suspicious. And they have lots of older people that come in there, and they say they want to send money to help people, stuff like that. And they're like,
so I've got a story that has to do with Walmart. There's a relative of mine who was a little bit older at the time, but not, anyways, they got a call saying this other relative is in jail and you need to send money for a bail bond. It was a bail bond scam. And the thought was, oh, of course that person's in jail. It was not somebody that wouldn't be in jail. They were like, oh yeah, of course they're in jail. And they were like, the only way to send the money, you got to go to a Walmart right now and wire the money through like a Walmart, whatever money order, or whatever. And that's the only way to get them out. And if you don't do it in a certain amount of time, then you won't be able to do the bail bond. And they were like, they literally went and sent like tens of thousands of dollars through a Walmart thing, lost it. It was completely gone. Yeah, it was. And so, not good, but just so crazy. So
that's the other
that was a long time ago. That was several decades ago, so it's like these kind of things have been going on for a long time. They're just they're just ramping up because of the internet and the age of the internet. It's like more and more and more, and they're all over. And obviously, if these people have made $2.1 billion in this kind of scam just this year alone, like they're going to keep doing it, and it's going to get worse and worse. And think about that. If you made $2.1 billion, and obviously that's a lot of different people, but if you're making that kind of money, then you get organized. Then you get, like mafia boss style, like scams, then it becomes like a international, problem. It's like, it's not just like, people are losing money. It's like that. That's how you build like, evil financial empires. I mean, that's just crazy.
That's what's going to cause the whole crypto thing to get regulated because of stuff like this, because people don't know what they're doing with it. They don't take the time to learn it, and they don't actually fully understand how crypto works and how to manage it and how to transfer it and all of that. And so it's going to have to get regulated, unfortunately, because these people who are getting fooled by this are making it that way for everybody now. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that regulation comes about. Hopefully it still stays somewhat decentralized and we can still be our own banks. But I have a feeling that here's what's going to happen. At first, the ones who are into crypto, who are more well-versed in it and actually know what they're doing, are going to be able to kind of stay in that pocket and move their money correctly. But then it's going to come to a point where the only way to get into crypto is to go through a regulated system, and that's why the banks are now starting to pick it up. Our Bank of America, I think, just announced this morning that they actually are creating a stable coin. So
weird.
They're going to have to start doing it because people are going to have to they're going to need what's the word I'm looking for? Like
Insurance.
mediator.
They're gonna need,
But is this stablecoin a cryptocurrency, or is it a digital currency, which is different? It's not decentralized. It's controllable, and they can make more of it.
It's a digital asset.
But it's not a crypto. It's not blockchain.
Well, they haven't announced exactly what it is yet, but it's a stable coin. They're saying they're
kind of going towards central bank.
Kind of, but the Genius Act that was passed through last week, there was an act within that blocked central or CBDCs. So I don't know how that's going to play out.
Is that passed? Did it get signed into law?
As far as I know, if I remember correctly, Trump signed it.
I'm gonna have to look in.
Or not last week, like
see.
2 weeks ago on July 4th. Trump signed it on July 4th.
I'm surprised by that. I'm gonna have to look into that and see if there's some caveat in there that kind of nullifies the main purpose of it.
There were a lot,
and
Marjorie Taylor Green.
Green.
I was mixed up. The Taylor Green. She actually is one of the biggest proponents that was pushing against the CBDC. So she made sure that there was legislation in there that blocked that.
Okay, so then in that case, yeah.
So
anyway,
that's
do
great
a whole
news.
Nother episode on that.
Yeah,
that's great
getting
news.
back to the scams, just 3 more quick points. Number 1, also never pay in gift cards. If anybody hits you up saying you need to pay something in a gift card, that's a scam. Number 2, the time pressure is massive. If somebody hits you up and this has to be done by the end of the day, it's a scam. It's like that bail bond situation. It's like you have to do this right now or it can't be done. There's in the real world, there is almost never a actual time pressure situation like that. The IRS doesn't call you and say you're going to go to jail if you don't pay us money by the end of the day. If it has a time pressure attached to it, it's a scam. And the third one is, if you want some good training on how to deal with scammers, everybody needs to look up the James Veach comedian, James Veach, Scam-A-Lot, where he has a whole video on how he responds to scammers via email with a fake email. And it's absolutely hilarious. Great YouTube content if you want to see somebody scamming scammers. Really, really funny. He gets in an argument with a scammer who's trying to get him to pay him money through a fake bank. And he's like, he makes a fake flyer and is like, you guys promised me a free toaster if I signed up for a bank account. Where's my free toaster? And he's arguing with this scammer, trying to get the scammer to send him a toaster before he signs up for their fake bank account. So
that's funny. Have you seen? There's ones where I got 2 things, but there's one that the guy actually like hacks into the cameras of the facility where they're doing all these things, and he shows them, and he starts deleting stuff off their computer. I mean, this guy, he's brilliant. But the other thing I was gonna say is that you never use a debit card online. You use credit cards, because credit card companies, you can get your money back, because then they'll go after the scam and they'll do that if it gets stolen, and used in somewhere else or whatever, if it's a fraudulent claim. Debit card, that money's gone.
So when you're sending money to the Nigerian prince, use a credit card.
Use a credit card.
I get it.